Well, I hope you are ready. We're going to do the reveal in just a second. And I believe that I'm going to have a little person we know called Corndan join us for some of the commentary today. He is welcome to come jump in whenever he would like, or he can just hide forever. That's also an option. Definitely an option. Well, let's go ahead and hop over there. Hey, Corndan.
See, I could hide forever, but I'm not going to.
I appreciate it, you know. It's always helpful when people aren't hiding. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this whole list of games up right now. So, here are the different games that we have. Some of these are going to look familiar, some of them definitely won't to people watching. Just so everybody knows, the puzzles from left to right, top row first, Puzzle, Iron Sword, Hover Bother, X-Mutants, The Simpsons, Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror, Ying Xiong Qiang Xia, something like that, I don't know. Earthworm Jim, Boogerman, Lagoon, and The Wizard of Oz. Those are our 10 games for today, and boy, they're gearing up for this match. Oh, it looks like they're excited about Iron Sword, at least.
Iron Sword's a fun game. Not good, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, I enjoy playing Iron Sword. I don't know, I did speedruns of it back in the day. I'm a big fan personally, but that's just me.
I can get behind it. I'm a fan of Earthworm Jim and Lagoon on here.
Oh boy.
Puzzle's also going to be a big game.
I like puzzles, so puzzle seems, you know, definitely right up my alley. Now, I have played, I don't know how many of these I've played. I've played quite a few of them. Oh my gosh, Boogerman always upsets me. Okay, let me tell you why. Because I have a friend who came and visited and made me play it, and he's like, this is the best game ever, it's Boogerman! And I'm talking about, like, he was 30 years old telling me to play Boogerman. And I did, and I was like, wow, this is pretty terrible. He's like, isn't it great? And I'm like, yeah, it's great. It was, I don't know, it was enjoyable.
I think Boogerman's competent. Right? Once again, doesn't necessarily make it good, but I think it's competent.
Yeah, now, mind you, everybody who's watching, I have not told you what the challenges are. As they come up, I will. Oh, by the way, we did recently change rules about spoilers. The people who are racing are not allowed to be in the chat, so if there are spoilers during the match, that is completely fine. Just make sure that you pay attention, be aware of your fellow players. Oh boy. So, Corndan, out of these 10, which one do you think you're most excited about?
I don't know. Iron Sword's going to be a good one. Right, I really like watching that. Boogerman will be an interesting one. Be another good watch. You know, one of the ones that we've never seen in here, and I've played it, is Hover Bobber.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's something that a lot of people just will not be familiar with. Not at all. Not at all.
So I feel like for Hover Bobber will be a good watch just because we've never seen it before.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that we have this. Dana, again, thank you for the help putting together some of these states. Maybe I shouldn't say it's a Dana state. Honestly, I feel like that's one of the more entertaining games to play. Oh boy.
It's not a good game, but I would call it, once again, a little less bad than maybe some of the others. But it's not a game that really kind of lines up with some of the other games we've played.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, oh, well, we played these games like that, right? So this will be easy to do. Where I think some of the other games line up with, things that we've played before. Okay, this game is like these other games. I know how to play.
It's true. I think that people watching are going to be a little bit surprised. So, to let you all know how this works, as they go through an hour completing challenges, I will mark that they have completed it. Take a look, for example, at the 12 above with Chris and Keith's side. I'll click it when it's dark. That means he's done it. If it is still light, then yeah, it's not done. They have to go do that. Yeah, so we'll see. We're just completing everything. Now, I do not expect all 10 states to be completed, but if so, that person will automatically win. And I want you to know, we are going with a tiebreaker situation for this, using overtime. Both players have confirmed that they're okay with that, so that's how we're going to do it. Oh man, I'm trying to think, what state am I most excited about? Kind of Wizard of Oz, but I really like Wizard of Oz.
It's a good one.
With Chris and Keith, go ahead and mute me whenever you are ready to roll, if you're listening to me right now. Okay, I am just asking them right now if they are ready for this madness, the Kusogrand Gauntlet. Looks like dowolff is saying yes. Wish them the best of luck, because we are doing the countdown. Oh my gosh, I love the gauntlets. They're an absolute blast. I think this is my favorite Kuso time of the year.
They take a lot of effort, though, to put together, and it's worth it.
Oh yeah. As soon as I see states loaded, I will start the timer. And it looks like we are good here. Okay, with Chris and Keith is trying to load. It looks like dowolff is hopping into puzzle first. With Chris and Keith not showing anything quite right now. What is happening on his side?
They must have changed the NES core.
They may have. There we go.
Oh,
Chris and Keith is off with Hover Bobber. It looks like dowolff right now is using one of the systems in puzzle. Okay, so puzzle is essentially a slide puzzle. However, they are allowed to use the minigame inside if they want to switch two pieces. It's essentially random if they want to do that. Okay, with Chris and Keith is mowing a lawn. Oh no! Unfortunately, Jim's mower is gone. Looks like with Chris and Keith is going to use their second life. I'll just nip and borrow Tom's. Well, good. Okay, he's going to go steal another mower. dowolff opting instead to go with this game.
That's kind of what I figured was going to happen.
So the goal... Okay. They're currently on Yingxiong Tianxia. The goal of this is to beat one opponent. Now, there are characters who are much better than others. It's gonna be, I think, the puzzle of trying to figure out who is the best. dowolff is doing pretty well here, though. Okay, with so Chris and... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
With Chris and Keith is off to Alf's mower, because he's a good chap.
Oh yeah, it's good. I'm glad that he is helping out, you know, just... The dog is great, by the way, because both the dog you can use to stop the enemy, but if it comes and walks into you, it will actually completely stop you. Okay. With Chris and Keith, and not only that, you're stunned for about 10 seconds. With Chris and Keith ran over some flowers, and unfortunately, they weren't too happy about that. dowolff is doing great on this fighting game. I'm actually really shocked.
I think the fighting game will go quickly.
Yeah, he chose a good character for this, though. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this music. It's definitely music. Okay, Chris and Keith gonna start mowing again, and it looks like dowolff is done with that state. And I'm letting them know they are good. dowolff takes the lead and hops into the Wizard of Oz. Now, the Wizard of Oz, we've given them the Rouge River.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the goal is to go all the way to the right. They have a lot of lives, though. I don't think it's going to be a concern of running out of lives, but this is not an easy stage.
It's a kind of annoying stage, if I remember correctly.
It's very annoying. The logs, you do have to use the logs in certain locations. It's very easy to fall through platforms. Honestly, this is one of the most difficult platforming games around. It's very difficult. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, Corndan. Okay, with Chris and Keith stealing another lawnmower, I think he did really well during the last bit. Okay, dowolff is opting to go with Hover Bobber. It's good music, by the way.
It is. I mean...
Okay, Chris and Keith needs to learn how to use the dog well. I think that once he's able to figure out the dog mechanics, he'll be able to do pretty well with this. Ooh! Losing mower number 2. Okay, dowolff mowing some lawns. Yeah, now the dog tolerance... Oh, yeah?
I don't understand the point of this game. You think this guy would be happy that someone's coming to mow his lawn for him?
No, it's your own lawn. You stole this guy's mower to mow your own lawn.
Oh, okay.
At least that's how I read it, you know? The dog tolerance, by the way, is how long the dog will stay away from attacking you. If you run into the dog, just like dowolff did, you'll get stunned. He's currently using the dog to scare the dude away. Yeah, it looks like dowolff has figured out how to use the dog. Just don't let the dog touch you! Oh, with Chris and Keith opting to go to Boogerman. Okay, now this is Hickboy, who with Chris and Keith is fighting, and unfortunately Hickboy is very difficult. This is the first boss of the game. And when I say that, it's definitely a boss. I honestly feel like this is kind of a troll choice because this game is so incredibly difficult.
But I like Boogerman, both because it's difficult, but it's also a good-looking game. It's very fluid. The animations and everything are good. And then play it and it's awful.
Okay. Did the dog kill dowolff? I think I missed that, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh no! dowolff got the flowers. Now he has 2 people to deal with. That's okay. You can actually tap the sick button, the one that sends the dog, and the enemies will generally just run away from you if you do that repeatedly. Okay, dowolff going after the 3rd mower. This is the last mower, Alf. I like to imagine it's actually Alf, you know?
Well, then, clearly, he's upset you're taking it because you haven't given him salami or cats.
It's true, no salami. With Chris and Keith is actually getting a pretty good strategy against Hick Boy, mostly staying up in one place, jumping when he charges, getting some good spitting on occasion, throwing a lot of boogers. Okay, dowolff. It looks like dowolff lost that one, right? He's going through pretty much every state to see what is going to be the easiest for him. Okay, and we're on to X Mutants here. The goal is to finish the stage. Now, this is the minecart section. And it's kind of butts.
Yeah.
Oh, that jump. So, for those who are just coming, the goal is to finish as many of the challenges as possible. dowolff has finished one challenge so far, with Chris and Keith has not finished any. That's okay, we have plenty of time. Some of the states are going to be a lot easier than others.
True.
Ooh, Chris and Keith got psyched out by the eggs. You really have to learn how to deal with the eggs on Hick Boy, otherwise you just die over and over again. Okay, dowolff. Oh yeah?
Or you need to learn how to deal, like, as you said, deal with them, or basically get enough hits, and otherwise you can just take the hits.
Yeah. Okay, dowolff has a good amount of health moving on to this next section. Grabbing that heart. Okay, we're on to something that's a little bit rough here. Let's see what... Oh no! dowolff went for the health and died!
So dowolff's discovering in X Mutants, you don't jump as fast, basically, as the minecart goes.
Yes.
So you need to jump forward and hope to God the minecart lands on you. If you just go jump straight up thinking you'll have the same forward momentum, you're going to die every single time.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not trivial. With Chris and Keith, Boogerman, by the way that you tell his health is by the cape colors. When it's flashing red, that's a good sign. When it that means you're at full health. Normal red means that you've taken one hit. Yellow is your last hit. This is like Dragon's Lair, but better, Sharif. Okay, dowolff is actually doing pretty good figuring this out. The biggest troll... Oh, well, there's a troll. The thing is, in X Mutants, if you just jump straight up, you will stay in line with the minecart, as far as I remember. But if you press any direction at all, you're in trouble.
I always thought you had to jump forward with it to maybe it's when I played the minecart section and I was playing this originally, if you press any direction, it better be forward.
Yeah, it looks like, by the way, with Chris and Keith is opting to spit a lot at Hick Boy rather than use boogers. That might be a worthwhile strat. I'm not sure if there is a huge damage difference, but we'll see.
So one thing I'm noticing with Chris and Keith doing, they're wasting a lot of boogers basically when Hick Boy's doing his attack animations.
Yeah.
Right, they can't be hurt.
I think you're right. Okay, dowolff opting to go with Lagoon. And hey, he used the correct button. Now, Lagoon is one of those slow and steady games. I think one of the slow and steady challenges that we have. They have to complete the escort mission and make it back to the town.
Yeah, this escort mission is like 5 minutes of pain.
Yes.
So Giles, the guy that you're escorting, apparently broke his leg, then climbed up to the top of the mountain and is waiting for you. And to heal him with the healing pot and then escort him back because he's too afraid or something to go back. That's as fast as he walks the entire time.
He's not the fastest walker. Yeah, he's good at moseying.
The AI for how he follows you sometimes is not good. And by sometimes, I mean 100% completely.
Okay, I think
basically it just takes the direction he's the farthest from you in the cardinal directions.
Chris and Keith beats Boogerman.
Chris and Keith did beat. So anyway, Giles will basically move, and if he bumps a wall, he'll move one more, bump a wall, move one more, bump a wall, he'll move one more. That's not very good. On top of that, we put them at the top of the mountain and not to go up there, so the whole thing's a maze to get back there. Have fun. Chris
and Keith is opting for Earthworm Jim. Now, what we didn't say was that this is a different version of Earthworm Jim. Specifically,
this is the Sega Master System version of Earthworm Jim. So imagine if you took Earthworm Jim and made it bad. Like, this is what you get. It plays like Earthworm Jim. It has the level design of Earthworm Jim, and then it's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I'm liking the music on dowolff's side, just kind of chilling, helping his buddy out. Now, the thing is, it is a big maze. It is a slog to get through this lagoon state. But again, it's pretty reliable that you're going to be able to do it. Just do not run into enemies.
So the way I described it in putting this together,
dowolff ran into a dead end.
is Lagoon is like just rage-inducing because you have no control basically over how well you will do. You will do fine, right? It's just how much time does it take to make it happen.
Yeah. dowolff, I think, has found... Is that the exit?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Just had two rocks that kind of look...
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, that where he's at is the exit. My stream just caught up.
Oh, that's all good. dowolff is really not attacking at all. Which might be fine. Okay, come on.
It's pretty much the best way to go. If you ask me, because if you have a shield, you can push back against the enemies and they won't damage you, or might not damage you.
Oh yeah.
So as long as he kind of bumps into him from the front, he'll probably be okay. However, I left him at a low level here, so there's still a possibility, as long as he keeps moving and everything, that dowolff will just die. It's 100% possible. There's like no help.
Oh, okay, dowolff. By the way, thank you for the sub there, Noir. dowolff, I think, is getting fairly close to the end here.
Yeah, dowolff is getting pretty close. So let's talk about with Chris and Keith. They're kind of coming halfway through this area here.
Not much health left, but still 3 lives, so it might not matter. Okay, they're gonna have to go left, get onto this platform, and then jump to the right.
And then jump right, yep.
There we go.
And so now they fight... Oh, I forget what this guy is. But basically, you want to keep shooting him and avoid getting hit by... the falling stuff. However, with Chris and Keith, basically is trying to stay really far back for safety, right? But it doesn't do you any good because the gun has a very limited range in this version of the game.
Yeah, it looks like Chris and Keith has changed strategies a little bit here.
The strategy is basically to sit kind of where Chris and Keith is at, and when he stops, you shoot up, right? And or you avoid the tuba that comes down, right? And then whenever you get a chance, you shoot him. The thing, those tubas really hurt. Like you think that, oh, I can just like face tank it, but they really hurt.
Oh yeah.
And this guy takes a long time to kill, like a couple of minutes of just solid attacking.
So I just got a question, by the way. What stops you from just leaving? Is it Giles behind?
You can't go through the doors unless Giles is within a certain proximity of you.
Uh-huh.
So you have to have him close to you, otherwise he'll just sit there and keep trying to walk. And sometimes with the trekking, that means he just gets caught up wherever he is, and then you never find out.
Okay, dowolff is doing pretty... Oh, where's the exit? I think he's a little bit lost.
Yeah, he's totally lost.
He's gonna load a different game. Oh, that is rough. Time for Earthworm Jim.
Yep. So, listen to these fantastic Earthworm Jim tunes.
They're actually pretty good.
For a Sega Master System game? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you notice the whole time, basically, we were playing Lagoon, we were also playing Earthworm Jim, right? Like, if you've played Earthworm Jim before, this level is identical, the boss strategies and everything are identical. So, with Chris and Keith has it right, you blast everything around until a crate comes, and you knock the crate so it hits the guy in the butt. But it takes like 6 of them, and it's just so slow, like... The jump guy takes like a minute plus to do. This guy takes like a minute plus to do.
Wow. It's pretty impressive.
And if you've never played Earthworm Jim before, well, which I think that's the case with dowolff.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, this game is... I like Earthworm Jim, but this is not good.
Oh yeah, this is definitely not a good game. Okay, Chris and Keith has defeated the boss, so the goal here is to beat Andy Asteroids.
Correct, and Andy Asteroids comes up next. And Andy Asteroids, for those who have played this before, is the just the race scene, right? Basically at the end of every stage.
Yes.
So. What if you've played Earthworm Jim before? You know, in this scene, he has all sorts of good voice lines and all that, which don't unfortunately show up in the Sega Master System version. Maybe it's for the best that they don't. So you want to win this race. If you win this race, you just go on. And when I played it through, the time everything, get everything set up, I won the race. So typically in this, if you don't win, you have to fight Petey. I don't know if that's actually the case in this one or not.
Yeah, either way, as long as he finishes this, he should be moving on, right?
Yeah. So when it goes on to the next level, right, they'll be able to move on.
Sweet.
So as long as you don't keep crashing into things, there's turbo pickups you can pick up, right? Yeah. That basically make it
make it doable.
Don't be dumb, and you'll basically win.
Yeah, it looks like With Chris and Keith is doing pretty okay right now on this. Ooh, unfortunately, dowolff taking a little damage from this bird.
Those birds are jerks.
Yeah. And Chris and Keith, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him you're good. Sweet. Well, I mean groovy, you know?
Groovy.
I feel like With Chris and Keith has done some of the easier stages. On to The Simpsons, Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror. This is for the Game Boy Color. The goal here is to defeat Krusty the Clown. Okay, dowolff. Oh, dowolff is also hopping over here. Why does Marge have a gun? It's the Living Treehouse of Horror. She's gotta use guns. Do the players know the details of the challenges? They know the goals, and they know what they have to do, yes. Do we give them the controls? Only if they're really needed.
We did not give, for instance, the Lagoon controls. And so hopefully when Chris and Keith gets there, we'll see, hopefully we'll see them struggle, because the talk button is not the same as the accept button, and the talk button is also the cancel button.
It looks like dowolff is doing really good against this first mini-boss. Okay, moving on to the second part of the stage. With Chris and Keith is fighting Mo right now. Mo is a little bit deadly. However, there is a pretty good strat.
Mostly just annoying, right?
Yes. I'm gonna.
So what is the best strat for Mo?
I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but if you line up at a specific location, his shots will always miss you, essentially. That or become dodgeable at the very least. I think it's all the way to the left or all the way to the right, one or the other. Get the red stuff. Well, okay, yeah, the best strat is to get the red stuff, which I don't think either player has done. That increases your damage. Okay, dowolff through Mo, grabbing the donut and gonna be moving on. It looks like dowolff is more or less in the same location. Oh my gosh, okay, Smithers is next. He throws books. Wants you to get educated. Oh, what did I say?
Smithers.
Skinner, duh, Skinner. Okay, WithChrisAndKeith took a death, not a huge deal. They've got a good amount of lives here. I'm fired? I'm sorry that I forgot.
You're fired.
I was just dumb for a minute. It's fine. Ooh, dowolff has taken a lot of damage. One more hit, and he's going to take a death. And WithChrisAndKeith has gotten the upgrade. That makes a huge difference.
That is a big difference.
Now, I forget, after you die, how far back do you go?
It looked like all the way.
Oh, jeez. Ooh, I saw dowolff saw the pickup, but he didn't go for it, so... There are no checkpoints. Oh, what a game.
Yeah, this is mean. You know, with no checkpoints.
He's like, Mike was saying, I think this might be too easy. No, it's just right. It's good. Ooh, those zombies. Okay, dowolff on to Mo.
I think this game, when you know it, can be sort of easy, right? But I also think that this game, right, lures you into like a false sense. Oh, this doesn't seem so bad, and then it is.
Oh, it's bad. Okay, WithChrisAndKeith has a great strategy against Seymour Skinner. Just strafe and shoot. And Seymour is down. Krusty is definitely difficult in this game. Okay, dowolff grabbing the donut and moving on. I'm a little bit concerned. He still has Seymour coming up. Seymour isn't too difficult if you do what WithChrisAndKeith did. Maybe dowolff will figure out a good strategy. Okay, he does see that he can strafe and shoot, so maybe he'll give that a shot in a little bit.
Was that an intentional pun, or...?
Probably not.
Not this time. Hello, Faizu!
Hello, Brosensha. I'm here to crash the couch, and also count cash and cash the couch and various other things.
All of that, yeah. So, have you played this game at all?
Very, very briefly.
Oh, ChrisAndKeith is down! But luckily...
But ChrisAndKeith there is a checkpoint with Krusty.
dowolff is onto Ironsword. I told them the goal is to climb the right mountain.
As opposed to the wrong mountain.
Actually... Yeah. I should have maybe phrased that mountain on the right.
I approve, though.
I just realized. Okay, that's
a glorious level of ambiguity there. I like it.
The music in Ironsword, though, is so good.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. This is Ironsword.
Is it just me? And maybe someone has brought this up before, but I'm looking at the Gauntlet pictures in the top, and the third one along, which is Hover Bobber for C64, I believe, that looks a lot like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, kind of
does.
Well, I mean, Don't go stealing lawnmowers from Freddy Krueger and you'll probably be okay.
Okay, so dowolff is wandering elsewhere. Maybe he's thinking right means... There we go. There's a mountain on the right. Okay, Chris and Keith, did he just beat it? Yeah.
He did.
Very nicely done.
Okay, Booger Man for dowolff. Yeah, I think in the first half hour or so, he's working just on seeing what all the different states are about. I'm not sure if that's the best strat, though, especially since, you know, Chris and Keith has already beaten 3 of the states.
Well, and especially in that, right, in his quest to kind of see everything, he was mostly done with Lagoon.
Yes, he was almost there.
That's unfortunate. Lagoon, I think, is one of the longest states in this, just in that it takes so much time to go through.
That and Earthworm Gem.
Yes.
So
But most of the others, I think, are pretty quick to get through, if you know what you're doing, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
And dowolff is going back to Hoverbobber. It looks like With Chris and Keith is doing the fighting game right now, unfortunately taking a little bit of damage here. He may be able to beat Vega in just a little bit. The goal for Lagoon is to escort Giles, yeah.
Yeah, so it's totally doable. I mean, all you have to do is, like, not get hit, right? But the problem is Giles is slow and you need to find your way around.
Oh, yeah. I like this noise when you get hit by the dog.
Hoverbobber is a good game, and I don't know what it's doing in here.
I think dowolff is starting to psych himself out a little bit. He's going to the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz is
Good,
not a
kick
good
those
game.
teeth. If you hit select, you can actually change characters here. Which, I don't know. Dorothy is one of the better characters to use, to be fair.
I was going to say, does changing the characters really help on this stage?
You do get a higher attack with the Scarecrow as well as the Tin Man. And actually, all of them give a higher attack. Tin Man cannot jump, though, so switching to Tin Man is bad.
Yeah, on the stage predicated on moving from platform to platform very carefully, not being able to jump is probably a bad thing.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more difficult. Okay, dowolff is just trying to not die. Oh, he's doing pretty well, to be fair. Okay, I'm gonna have to refresh his stream to make sure that we're fully caught up. Looks like he took a death there. As soon as you fall, you go back to the very beginning, and With Chris and Keith has been defeated by Vega. So he may be loading a state.
Vega Bison.
Nope, round 3, okay. They're going for a 3rd round. Yeah, the thing is, like, the characters are very unbalanced in this bootleg fighting game. The game is Ying Xiong Chun Xia, something like that. I don't know how to say it.
That was some expert pronunciation, bro.
I'm trying!
I'm sincere. That was fantastic.
Well, thank you.
I'm just British. It's very hard to tell when I'm being sincere.
Now, as you can tell, the jumping in the Wizard of Oz is dumb. Oh my gosh!
Oh, this is so good.
Chris and Keith, yeah, he's getting wrecked right now. It's not a huge surprise.
Yeah, the health bars for that game are really confusing.
I think the colors in the game just broke as well. Oh, and there he goes. Vega takes the victory. He's gonna go back to, I think, a different character. Let's see, Ryu.
Always a solid choice.
Yeah, sure. I have no idea with this game. Let's see what Ryu can do. He can kick. Oh, the fireballs make a huge difference. Mikuyama tested this. Like, he beat it first try when he got a fireball character. So, we'll see what they're able to do with Ryu. Okay. dowolff trying to kick the teeth. Kick the teeth! Oh, switch into the Scarecrow. Okay, Scarecrow killed the teeth. That's cool.
These jumps are so unbelievably precise.
It's so difficult. Yeah, you can't make that jump without a log. Okay, dowolff.
Yeah, it looks so much easier than it actually is.
Now, I do want to say there is a troll right at the end of the stage. You have to jump off the edge. It looks like you're going to die. You're not going to die. And dowolff made it! Oh my gosh.
Nicely done.
Wow.
Nice.
And on to X Mutants.
I'm actually really surprised that somebody beat it that quickly, because that
was impressive.
That stage is not easy. dowolff actually made it very far in X Mutants. Well, whee!
I'm sorry, X Mutants deaths just make me laugh.
It's a game.
Is so good.
Ooh, with Chris and Keith, is that a second victory? I think it might
No,
be.
it's just the first.
The first, okay. Very nice. Round 2, go! It's a little bit of a different way to, like, say fight, you know?
Go.
Go!
I'm kind of biased. I don't think the X Mutants challenge is that bad, but I've played X Mutants quite extensively, this level in particular, so I'm a really bad judge for this one. Although dowolff is getting pretty far through
No,
it.
dowolff!
And
The thing is, if you jump, do not correct your momentum.
Yep.
If you do, you die.
The jumping on this stage is just the worst part of it.
Okay, it looks like Vega on Chris and Keith's side is doing a pretty good job avoiding Ryu. Oh, that kick! The scissor kick. I'm pretty sure that's M. Bison, not Vega.
That's M. Bison.
In Japan, he was called Vega, and the boxing character, which we know as Balrog, was called M. Bison.
Wait, really?
Because it was based on Mike Tyson. So to avoid legal issues, it was renamed.
Yeah, it's not always going to be Dictator at the beginning. I think it depends on the character that you choose. Or it might just be random based off of what the computer wants to do. I have no idea.
The computer just hates you.
Oh yeah.
This is basically true of everything we put in Kusogrand3.
The computer just wants to wreck you. Looks like with Chris and Keith is going to try fireball strats, but Vega has fireballs as well. Ooh, a nice kick there.
You know, awful as that fighting game is, I'm kind of impressed at how weirdly faithful it is with some of these characters.
And that it looks almost playable for a Game Boy Color game?
Some of the females
go that
have
far.
really deep voices, though. So, like, quote-unquote faithful is what I'd say. It's
I mean, faithful for a bootleg.
as faithful as you can be. Oh, jeez. Wow,
I mean,
Chris and
little-
Keith is
little
doing great right now.
Little bits and pieces like frames of the animation are really, really clearly taken from the games in question, as opposed to just being crap knockoffs. And I'm
Wow.
impressed
Yeah.
with that. That's the sort of quality I like in my bootlegs.
Okay, one more hit from Chris and Keith, and he should take Vega down. There we go!
Nicely done. And I think dowolff is getting close to the end. Yep.
Winner!
And dowolff has done X Mutants at the same time.
Sweet.
So back to
Puzzle! By the way, I allowed them, if they want to make a save state partway through puzzle, they are allowed to do so. That way they can work on the puzzle, come back after they clear their thoughts. You know, just like a real puzzle.
Whose fault is this?
I don't remember.
Probably NPCs.
Oh yeah, it was John Michael NPC for sure.
And if it wasn't NPC, I blame it on NPC anyway. Because I know he's the person who's inflicted puzzle on me.
Chris and Keith is actually doing... Well, there we go. This game is so dumb. Wizard of Oz.
The platforming is so idiotically precise in that game that it's so easy to be like, oh, you're doing well. No, you're not.
Yeah, just takes one... The thing is, like, platforming is the worst in this, and it's all that you do in this stage. I was like, let's choose the worst stage possible. Actually, there are some other stages that might be worse than this.
That's a cunning abuse of save stating that dowolff is going for there.
What's that?
The RNG, if you press B and you play rock, paper, scissors against the computer,
He's
to get some tiles
abusing
in
the
right
mechanics that I allowed them to have. Wow,
I
dowolff.
know.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. That's a really clever abuse of the mechanics. I'm fine with it. I mean, I have absolutely no say in whether it's okay or not, but hey.
Yeah, the puzzle... The thing is, you do lose some time doing it this way because it just is a bit of a slog waiting for everything. And Chris and Keith is through Wizard of Oz.
Very nicely done. That was surprisingly quick.
That was actually pretty quick. A lot faster than I expected.
Do do do, beep beep beep, do 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 do. I like this music. It's pretty rockin'. Okay, Chris and Keith get the first touch.
And Chris and Keith has discovered the problem with jumping on this level. The rock, paper, scissors thing in puzzle is it will move some of the tiles to the right place, I think, if you win. If you lose, it will reduce your time.
No, you choose which two tiles get swapped.
Oh, okay.
If you beat that. So, technically, you could just do that until you finish the puzzle. But it takes a lot longer, I feel, than doing a slide puzzle normally.
That depends on how good you are at slide puzzles. Oh god, Iron Sword.
Yeah. dowolff is heading in the right direction, though. Just gotta climb this mountain. But he also needs to get some magic. Okay, he's got a little magic.
I'm also okay with Iron Sword just so we can hear this music.
Yeah, the boss didn't spawn. Faizu, it was the same problem that happened to you.
That's exactly what happened to me. The boss spawned when I jumped off to the left. That's about it.
Yeah, I think that if you have the screen scrolled all the way to the right, for some reason, the bosses just don't spawn.
Maybe.
Okay, come on, dowolff, jump! He's like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah, that was my reaction. That was what happened to me repeatedly, and then I gave up until you lot told me, you just go there and jump, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Now, just to note, Chris and Keith is through 5 of the challenges, dowolff is through 3. I think that, honestly, Chris and Keith's strategy of just grinding out a specific game and then getting through it is paying off. You know, he has switched from a couple of the games, but he's mostly focused on them as soon as he's gone to them.
I think it's a good strat. It has its disadvantages as well, particularly if you get stuck on one of the longer time-consuming ones like Earthworm Jim or Lagoon, something like that.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a fair bit of time that you could probably spend more effectively beating some of the other challenges, but it seems to be working in his favour. And Mike, no. Just no. You're back on the list, Mike.
Oh boy. Just so people know, the players are no longer allowed in chat, so they can spoil things. Oh no! Chris and Keith! That was right near the end, too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Well,
Oh, that minecart stage is cruel.
it definitely is rough. Like, there's very little I remember about X Mutants, but as soon as I pulled up the minecart stage, I was like, oh, this.
It's one of those ones that simultaneously is easier than it looks and is much harder than it looks. If you ever have to jump, it becomes problematic. But other than that, when you get the
dowolff
rhythm
got the
down,
tomatoes. That's gonna help.
double shot.
Provided
What
they-
was Marge firing before that? Dishes? Soap bubbles?
Who knows?
I'm curious. This, Simpsons.
I think
Hammer.
onions. I'm relatively sure they're onions.
That gradually grow in size.
That's what happens to my onions.
Utah onions. Okay. I genuinely assumed that they were bubbles, but when they get bigger, they look suspiciously like plates.
Yeah, Utah is a complicated state. Very true. Looks like
Um,
dowolff is starting to get a pretty good strategy. That's okay. Load the
And with
state,
Chris
go
and
back
Keith
in.
is Chris and Keith is through X Mutants.
That-
Nice. Holy cow.
It's impressive. He is blazing through these challenges.
Okay, I'm letting him know he is good to move on. Moving on. Taking his first look at the puzzle. And here we go. Goodbye, puzzle.
You would think that it was kind that you gave them the solution to the puzzle in the sense that you gave them a picture of what it's supposed to look like, but it's still horrible.
Yeah, I still love that it gives you 30 minutes to do it.
I think
Well-
I would need 30 minutes to do it.
Okay, he's gonna gamble. You can press select, by the way, to change the hand that you have. Looks like Chris and Keith got a victory there, and CPU is a little bit concerned about where they took damage. Now, question. I do not remember, but I feel like the double shot with Marge. Do you have a limited number of shots, or...
You do.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's based off of number, not time.
Correct. As far as I can tell.
Okay, gotcha. Mike is saying it's limited.
Yeah, but don't listen to Mike. He says that British games are bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, American games are bad too.
Yeah. To be fair, like 90% of all games are bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. Okay, dowolff is doing so much better. I just hope that when he dies to Krusty, he doesn't reload.
I bet they do.
You have so much faith when he dies to Krusty.
Okay, well, with Chris and Keith is doing okay with the slide puzzle.
I have no idea if he's doing okay with the slide puzzle. That just looks like a weird multicolored blob to me.
It definitely
like
looks
something-
like he knows what he's doing when it comes to slide puzzles. It just takes a while.
That does look like something out of a fever dream to me. Who thought that a massive multicolored blob was a good idea on a system with that few colors?
I know,
I
know,
did.
right? Oh my gosh, I think dowolff's gonna do this one, and Krusty is down.
See,
He is
you
good.
had so little faith.
Okay, and we have two people doing puzzle right now.
The most exciting stream on Twitch. 2 people doing slide puzzles.
Oh yeah. It's just that they have slightly different strats here. There we go. dowolff is going to be switching pieces in just a little bit. Honestly, I do think sliding them around is faster than doing the insta-switch.
Bro,
Yeah?
you see Cadis's comment in chat.
Is there a problem with the Iron Sword instructions? If you'd like, go ahead and tell them, Cadis. That would be fine. I'm not 100% sure what the error is there, but apparently there's an error. But both of them have the same information, so I'm cool with sharing that information, the fix later.
Ooh, with Chris and Keith is on to Lagoon. And they're hitting the button. So they have not realized that the buttons are different.
Oh, geez, yeah, you have to hit A. Chris and Keith is like, come on.
Come on, let's go. He's not gonna go until you go hit A.
We got a boogie. No, Nasir's just taking off. He's like, I'm done. I'm going. I hate you, you dumb child.
This is what I was hoping for.
Do you think he's looking around for the healing potion,
I think
the healing
he might
herb?
be. Oh, he's just leaving. Goodbye, Giles.
I don't think he realizes he doesn't have Giles.
Yeah,
or doesn't realize.
I don't think he realizes that he could take Giles with him at that point. I get the sense that he thinks he needs to go and find the healing potion,
which he does not.
Yeah, because Lagoon's buttons are messed up.
Lagoon was the first game of the first ever awful GDQ block. I believe that. Chris and Keith, wow, they're doing so good. They're not escorting, but they're rushing.
They are doing so good at avoiding all the skeletons and not so good at actually doing the challenge.
At the same time, they're going to be able to figure out the maze ahead of the escort mission. So that could
they just need
end
to
up helping.
Well, maybe, but only if they figure out the escort mission. That may be the roadblock for this challenge, figuring out that you have to press yes.
By the way, dowolff has the bottom 2 rows sorted for the puzzle. I think dowolff may successfully complete this challenge, by the way, because of this strategy here that I allowed them to use save states.
So I want to say again, that is a really clever abuse of a loophole in the strategy. I'm proud of that. Sorry,
I'm okay with people finding loopholes. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes left.
So, because people have brought it up in chat, let me try to explain the plot of Lagoon here.
Right.
I don't know what the plot is.
Here's the thing, I played the game and I have no idea what the plot is. I've owned the game since like it came out. Right, the plot of Lagoon is there's a bunch of muddy water, so there's demons or something, even though the water's not actually muddy. What? And so bad things happen, at which point in time you're supposed to go fix it because you're the child of light, right? And there's no explanation on any of this. And so you go do things that are completely unrelated to muddy water until you find out that the muddy water is not actually the problem to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, we lifted up a castle with a whole bunch of water to like turn in Princess. And there's a buddy of yours who's a friend, and he has weird eyes and he can teleport, but he still makes you go do fetch quests because he's a jerk.
Aw, nice.
I remember that.
Chris and Keith jump into Iron Sword.
I'd say that's a good idea, except for the part where he's jumping to Iron Sword.
There
I
he
hate
goes.
Iron Sword.
I didn't realize there were 3 mountains.
Didn't you say you speedran this?
Yeah, but you never go to the third mountain in the speed run. Okay, dowolff is getting really close, by the way.
Was I going to the wrong mountain? Okay, which mountain is it they need to reach?
The middle.
There's only 2 mountains.
Cadus, by the way, if you want, we can award extra time. dowolff spent considerably more time on Iron Sword. You are our referee, so you may make a call if you would like.
MTI, the rock, paper, scissors game, lets you swap 2 pieces. Any 2 you like across the entire board.
Okay, WithChrisAndKeith is getting towards the top of one of the mountains. I don't believe this is the correct one. If they jump to the left, though. Nope.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, the bosses have spawned. dowolff! These save states, they're killing me. And there we go! dowolff has completed puzzle!
I'm genuinely impressed, because that was awful. And in under 6 minutes, sort of.
That was,
kind of.
Well, yeah, in a way. Now, dowolff actually has the chance to tie this up.
There we go, hover bother. That's a good game. In which Freddy Krueger sneaks into your house and steals your lawnmower.
You go mow his lawn.
Probably to do dastardly things with it. Or you'd think that, but no, he actually just wants to mow a lawn.
It's good. It's good to mow a lawn, you know? Be a responsible housekeeper. I like this strat here. Keep the guy on the other side of the hedge.
When I was playing around with these states, Hover Bobber was one of the first ones I beat. It was great.
It's pretty fantastic, especially once you learn how to use the dog. What's that?
Ran over the flowers. Now
the dog looks annoyed.
A second person chasing him, and the dog is angry at him too.
Yeah, the dog the dog tolerance is all the way down, you know, and when your dog doesn't tolerate mowers anymore, you want to stay away from them.
But the dog loyalty is still very high, so that can be used to go and attack the people. But mowing those flowers was a bad move. Brought in a second enemy. The thing with Hover Bother that makes it considerably easier is you have multiple lives, and it does save your progress across the lives. So you can kind of, across 3 attempts or what have you, you can get through that relatively easily.
Yeah,
you don't need to restart as soon as you get caught.
Just so you know, what would probably be the fairest if we do grant more time to dowolff is to keep them both playing, because dowolff could potentially manage to beat one of the states in that extra time that we grant. If any is granted. So let's keep them both playing until the match is for sure called. Okay. It looks like WithChrisAndKeith is doing okay on Iron Sword right now. Biggest thing is that he wants to climb pretty high up, and fighting them individually is pretty rough. That's what he's doing right now. He's just fighting the sun. I think it's the sun. It looks like the sun, you know?
So dowolff's got a pretty good idea in Boogerman, and that's to use your parts, because when you duck down, you avoid most of the stuff that Hick Boy does.
I love it. I love it so much. With Chris and Keith has 1 life left, almost killing... Okay, first element is down. On to the second one. This is fire.
Punch the sun.
And unfortunately, he is out of magic. Oh, he got a little bit. Luckily, the projectiles, when they hit you, they can drop magic. He's just got to make sure that he deals more damage than he takes. And there we go with Chris and Keith. Game over. dowolff is just rushing and trying to get through this ASAP.
And that is not how you you work with Boogerman.
No, Boogerman is not one of those rush-through games.
No, you don't really have the health for it, and the attack patterns are kind of unforgiving.
Yeah. Iron Sword, just so you know, they have to beat 2 of the elements, 2 out of 4. dowolff just has to kill Hickboy. He's trying to get some sort of cheese strat, which, I don't know. That's probably what I would do with only a couple minutes left.
I don't know if that's going to work, though. If only because Boogerman is a very cruel game.
With Chris and Keith is taking on this element. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually the wind element in the game. I know it looks like the sun, but it's the wind element. Okay.
Which is funny because dowolff is using the wind element against Hickboy.
Oh my gosh! That's Earth? I thought Earth was the rocky one at the bottom. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. I don't know my elements.
Well, you know, if you didn't go to school in Utah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we learned by the periodic table, not this weird, fire's an element.
The elements are earth, water, fire, air, and pizza.
Pizza, that's a good element.
Oh! Chris and Keith got it.
With Chris and Keith, got Iron Sword.
Impressive.
Okay, I'm letting them know. The platonic elements. Yeah, I'm trying to see. I have not seen any word from our ref what we are going to be doing, so I will let it run over the hour, just in case we are giving extra time. Okay, here we go. We've got time expiring right now. It would pretty much be impossible for dowolff to beat in the next 2 minutes. I'm still going to keep the timer going though. So, yeah, let's keep the match going for another 2 minutes. dowolff can't tie up. Like,
let's just keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's go to 1 hour and whenever Kata says time. Okay.
Hover Bother is a good game. What is that doing in here?
I mean, it's a little bit odd to control, but I feel like this is one of the more enjoyable games. With Chris and Keith deciding to try to take on the lawn. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Good. With Chris and Keith used the dog to scare the dude away. Unfortunately, ran over the dog right after that. That's usually not good.
Don't run over dogs.
dowolff took a death against Hickboy.
Okay, it's a game in which you are mowing a lawn. It is quintessentially the perfect video game.
Oh boy. Okay. Go on, boy. Seize, kill. I'm getting ready.
Besides which, Hover Bother is by Jeff Minter and therefore cannot be a bad game.
We are right at the end. I'm just keeping my eye. I think we gave 2 extra minutes. We're at 102, and yeah, it is confirmed. Cadis has called time, and we are done. We are done with this gauntlet.
GG's both.
Wow, that was fun. That was fantastic.
It was also gone.
That was fun to watch.
That was fun.
Yeah, honestly, this was a fantastic watch. This was absolutely entertaining. I think they're going to be hopping into voice. But yeah, 7-5, with Chris and Keith managed to take the victory there, and they will be moving on in, I believe, the winner's bracket. dowolff will be moving down. Hello, dowolff, welcome!
Hey.
Hey, so how you doing?
So just for what it's worth, like, was I anywhere near close to the exit to Lagoon when I gave up?
Yes.
Damn
Yes,
it.
you were.
God damn it. Like, but I thought I explored like the entire left-hand side, and was it just on the right-hand side, or did I miss it somehow, or?
So basically, when you come down from the exit there, you go right and then down and then right again and then down, and then basically that gets you.
So I
to
went
the
entirely
exit.
the wrong way on the last floor, which is what I thought. I thought like it's going to take me 5 minutes to get out of here at least, and there's probably another floor. I'm just going to give up this game, and I guess
You as I said, you were not that far away.
Yeah,
that
was costly.
That
was
one
dumb.
hurt us a little bit to see you do that much of the escort mission and then jump away. I thought dowolff is probably not going to be returning to this.
But I mean, like, I don't think I could have beaten another one of those games given even another 20 minutes. So,
did you want to stab Giles by the end of the escort mission?
not really. Like, I've seen PJ play that game enough times that I just know how awful it is. And like, I knew like stupid things like that. It's always that he tries to draw a straight line and that he's invulnerable and like so useful things like that. So I knew what I was getting into. It's just, yeah.
Now, we did love your puzzle strategy. So, with Chris and Keith, let's go ahead and talk about that, because you played it a little bit, but then you moved away from it pretty quickly.
Me or Keith?
Oh, Keith did.
Yeah. I did the same thing. Did Keith ever went back to it?
No, he was like, I'm done with this game.
Yeah, so I just sort of looked at the rules and said, I can gamble time to swap pieces. I can use save states. I wonder if I can abuse this.
He probably had about 200 states, Keith.
That was so I was actually planning on doing that one first when I realized that initially, and then I when I initially swapped to the upper right hand corner, I got so confused that I'm like, forget this. And then I went back to it and figured out the controls. And I'm like, okay, let's just have some fun.
We very much approved of you finding that loophole.
I'm just like, you let me abuse save states. I'm going to abuse save states.
I mean, it wasn't meant to be abused, but fine. Yeah.
Here's the thing: even using save states, it still took you like 6 or 7 minutes.
Oh, it was. I was bad at that puzzle. Yeah. Also, stupid. That game is just stupid. What other ones did you beat?
I'm wondering, what stood out to you? Like, either the best ones for you, the worst ones for you? What really gripped you in this one?
Well, I tried with a puzzle for a little bit, as you probably saw. I wasn't really one to, I didn't think of the idea of abusing save states myself. I was just kind of trying to do it as legit as I could, so I just tried to treat it like a normal kind of slide puzzle. Because I do have a strategy for slide puzzles, but it maybe doesn't work very well if you're trying to speedrun.
Honestly, I think that doing it the normal way, if you're good at slide puzzles, you could do it faster than abusing the save states. Honestly.
It doesn't help that... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
I was just going to say, it doesn't help that the controls for, it's hard to mess up the controls of a slide puzzle, but they kind of did it, I suppose.
Yeah, the weird thing is that you have to go and hold A down on a piece in order to move, but as soon as you move the piece, it automatically, like, says, hey, you're not holding onto it anymore. So it feels like you could just grip onto it and move it around, but no, thank you.
Oh
puzzle.
god, it took me forever to figure that out. Yeah, that was the stupidest. I don't understand, but
Yeah, they
Yeah.
well, it's unlicensed. Whatever.
yeah. So I guess Keith, I assume you beat Lagoon. If I had to like make a random guess.
Apparently I didn't. I thought I did, but I think I must have forgot to actually do the escort part of the escort mission. I was confused.
Did you just run out? You ran off without him?
Yeah.
Well, he was standing there, and you say hello to him, and he says, "Oh, get me a healing pot," or whatever he's asking for, and you've got a yes or no. And I was sure that I clicked yes, and he just said something, and then I just walked off without him. And it was like,
Probably
just wasn't
pushed the
following
wrong
me.
button because
God.
there's only
No, it's
one
like
confirmation
A
button,
button.
and all of the others cancel out. So
okay, that's will be the problem then.
Lagoon
It's
is a
Lagoon.
very cruel game when
Well, I
it
thought it
comes
was
to
like
that.
I don't know. I thought maybe the puzzle was just the challenge was just worded in a strange way.
no, you had the right idea. It's just that Lagoon's buttons are dumb. That's what it boils down to.
And in the end, you still needed to get actually to the town, which was further south, which was just wide open. But yeah, be glad you missed out on Giles.
He's slow.
Although, why are you calling him Giles? His name is Nizer or something like that.
What?
No, Giles is the guy you escort.
Oh yeah.
I thought he said his name was Nizer in like that opening prompt.
Nasir is you. That's you.
Whoops.
They give you the best name in that game.
Yeah, you are Nasir. You are Nasir. You have to go save Giles.
Ah. The lore escaped me entirely. I know there's dirty water somewhere, but I never saw it.
Oh. Yeah, well, there's an RPG for you, dowolff. I know that you like RPGs, so...
No, I think PJ's got that one covered.
It's I unironically like the game. It's just not good.
Yeah.
And not good doesn't begin to describe it, honestly.
Yeah, well, I unironically like Hover Bother, and that is good, so...
Oh, yeah, how are you supposed to beat that?
Mow the lawn.
Well, yes, but...
I think I maybe figured it out just towards the end there, where I realized that the button 1 or whatever makes your dog attack the other guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured that out, but like how do you stop the dog from getting pissed at you and just wanting to kill you?
Because
just
when you keep pushing the button as his tolerance is at 0, because that will cause him to run away from you towards the enemy. And so if you just sort of tap it repeatedly, he'll stay between you and the enemy.
Okay.
It also helps. It also helps that you have multiple lives on that.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I know I had
You've got
but
3.
I think
that was.
it was
when I was playing
got
there,
through all
I
of
maybe
that.
could have finished it if I had taken that one more life.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
It's just funny that the game's about stealing lawnmowers to mow your lawn. I love it.
But yeah, Iron Sword, like even with me going up the wrong mountains repeatedly,
We gave you extra time because of that.
Yeah, but I think I climbed every mountain and I couldn't find any bosses, so I was just very confused.
That was exactly what happened to me when I was testing these states, and I also got very confused. So,
Yeah, I
Earthworm
was-
Jim, I don't know what I missed on Earthworm Jim, but I just got to a point that I couldn't get past in the first level. So
It's... I don't know. It looks really janky, and I think that at some point there's a wall that actually isn't a wall that you jump through in order to grab
of course
onto a
there
rope.
is. Of course there is.
Yeah, so unfortunately you trusted the graphics.
What a fool I am.
I know! But yeah, Keith actually got through that Earthworm Jim one pretty well and did a great job against the boss. Had you already played Earthworm Jim?
I played the original one, yeah.
Okay.
So I maybe had a advantage with that, I suppose. I mean, there was different things there which kind of threw me off, but
Like flag.
the lag, the fact that your gun is attached to the same button as the whip, so you have to do that weird kind of hold down button. It takes like a full second before you start firing.
It's a really interesting, like it's a pretty faithful conversion of Earthworm Jim. It's just a faithful conversion of Earthworm Jim to a system that absolutely cannot handle Earthworm Jim.
I'm glad, though, to say that every state was beaten except for Hover Bobber and Lagoon. So those were the two that did not get touched. Well, they got touched. They got plenty of.
Booger Man confused the hell out of me, though. Like, what was it strat for that, Keith? Like,
for which one?
Booger Man, because I guess you beat.
It took me quite a while, but that's one where I was worried I was spending too much time with it because I kept on restarting. I kept saying, "Well, I'll try one more time, and then I'll move on to another game." No, one more time. I think I always had it there, and so on and on and on.
Yeah.
And eventually, my strategy was to try and hold on to the first kind of power, because you lose that first power up if you get hit once. I tried to hold on to that for as long as possible, and I just kind of. It's hard to describe.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to actually like attack.
I tried to avoid the attacks, I suppose.
The biggest thing that you have to learn is how to dodge.
They seem kind of like, some of them seem kind of random, like when he fires the eggs. I thought he was just firing them in random directions, but he does fire them in 3 specific directions, just kind of a bit random. So you just need to know, well, if I'm on the ground, only this one can hit me, so that's the only one I need to dodge.
Yeah.
I got that. I got that I could cancel the attacks too, but I just couldn't.
You can kind of do that as well. I did that a couple of times, but I didn't want to kind of rely on it because it seemed quite inconsistent.
Yeah.
Just so you know, with Boogerman, that is the first boss of the game. And we've had races before where essentially people didn't get past Boogerman. Or Hickboy, sorry. They didn't get past Hickboy. So I think that he's a surprising wall for a pretty terrible video game. I like that you were burping and farting, though, dowolff. Okay, that made my day.
Wait, how else was I supposed to attack? I literally don't know.
You can throw boogers.
Oh.
That's your projectile.
Wish I knew that. That would have been useful. I don't know how I missed that.
That would make it a little harder. Oh, yeah, and you never attacked in Lagoon. I never saw you use your sword.
I used it a little bit, then decided this was a mistake and just avoided everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, same here. I took the same strategy with, what's his name, Soccer Kid or whatever.
Yeah, you just ran past everything. Okay.
Yeah,
Lagoon does have possibly the worst sword in video gaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, just so everybody knows, it looks like Big Bad Gameathon is currently doing a punishment stream for Tristan. He's playing Captain Silver for Arcade, which is a little bit brutal, so that's where we're going to raid. Do you have anything else, Keith, dowolff? No?
Awkward silence ensues.
You've got silence. Wow.
Well, what, like a kind of a plug or what sort of thing?
Sure, plug whatever's going on in your life. Anything you want to say.
Well, tomorrow I'm getting on the Mega Man 11 train, which everyone else has already gotten on, but you know, whatever. I might as well. I'm going for instead of going for the, I want to see this game that's just come out audience, I'm going for the audience that's like, nobody's playing this game anymore because the first days went by. I want to see more. So
well,
maybe,
cool.
I don't know if that's a great strategy, but...
Hey, it might work. Who knows?
Let's see how it goes for you.
Yeah, what about you, dowolff?
Nothing new.
Okay.
Trying to find time to stream, failing. You know.
Oh yeah, I know how that goes. I gotta go grade. Speaking of grading, I'm gonna go do that right now. So, raid time, our message is gonna be yeah. Oh, dowolff, by the way, Tristan is going to be your next opponent, so now's the time to go yell at him a bunch.
Okay.
Alright, see y'all, bye!
Ciao.
Bye-bye, see ya.